Breaking news at 5, a Duluth police officer with a long history of complaints and allegations is no longer employed by the department.
This evening, the department spokesperson confirmed to Northern News Now that Tyler Leibfried's employment ended December 23rd.
Leibfried had been with the department for nearly a decade. Most recently, DPD asked the Minnesota BCA to investigate 2 sexual assault allegations made against him by 2 different women. And both allege Leibfried took advantage of them while they were extremely intoxicated. The BCA turned over its findings to the St. Louis County attorney, who ultimately declined to criminally charge Leibfried. However, Duluth Police continued its own internal investigation into the officer. And while the department tonight confirms Leibfried is no longer employed, they say the status of their investigation has not changed since last month.
Now, after we reported on the investigation, a 3rd accuser reached out to Northern News Now with a similar allegation. She provided Northern News Now with a copy of a newly filed report with Minneapolis Police and shared her story with Duluth Police.
All of this was hardly the first trouble Leibfried's had as an officer. As we've reported, he was the subject of 20 complaints in his time with the department, with some of those resulting in suspensions and letters of reprimand.
And then there was the police shooting in 2020. Leibfried was responding to a domestic incident downtown when he thought he heard gunshots. He fired several shots into an apartment door, striking Jared File, who was unarmed. Leibfried was the first DPD officer to be charged for an on-the-job shooting. DPD tried terminating Leibfried, but he was reinstated after being found not guilty. The city awarded File $600,000 following a civil suit.
And we're still working to learn whether Leibfried was terminated or resigned in this scenario. We'll keep you updated.